Hey guys, guess what? It is your teacher, Happy Teach. There I am, just so you can see. It's me. So I have a change, hopefully a surprise, and this will make your life much easier, especially since this is your last week. Um, we were going to use InDesign, and those of you who have started with InDesign, go for it. It is an amazing program, and you are going to need it. But for those of you who are struggling a bit to understand the programs, I have another most awesome option for you. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge my screen. And then I'm going to go to, and also the cool thing about this is it can be done in the browser. It can be done on your phone. It's pretty cool. And we're still going to get the project done. So I'm going to go to express.adobe.com. And so, those of you who already have the subscription to Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, you have the subscription here. It's included, so it's awesome. So this is Adobe's newest program, and it is called Adobe Express. And like I said before, it runs from the browser. It is really, really cool. It's super, super easy to maneuver. So we're going to create a brochure, and I'm going to show you how to make, since you guys already know design, you already know how to lay out your stuff in Illustrator and create, not layout, but you already know how to create graphics and stuff in Illustrator. And you already know how to create, oh my goodness, why are words hard? You already know how to create elements and stuff inside of Photoshop too, photo manipulation and things like that. So what we're going to do in Express makes everything easy, even as far as sizing and everything like that. Now, Express does have a lot of templates that you can use. I know all of the templates because I'm in here every night. I actually run the uh, not run. Oh my gosh. I actually am one of the moderators for the Express Insiders group on Facebook. So we go through the templates all the time, test them, and things like that. So for sizing wise, though, I am going to let you guys use the template, but I need you guys to show your design work, and that's what we're going to show. So we're going to go here. And then once you're here and you do all if it's your first time, it's going to ask you, hey, what are you using these products for? Things like that. We're going to go up here to search all templates, and we're going to type brochure. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love this app. Okay, so you click on brochure, and now it pulls up templates of the brochure. So now this crown, that means it's premium. But if you already have Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, when you see this crown, you are able to use it. See this crown right here in the bottom right side of this brochure. So I'm just going to pick any brochure real quick just so that I can, I'll just pick this one. Yep. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to say start from, and it's going to bring up a brochure. Now it'll already be sized, so we're good with that. And so now we have this brochure. So here's what we're going to do. And also, I want to make sure I put this out here because this has been tried before. Don't do it. For those who are late on your Photoshop or Illustrator projects and stuff, do not go to this app and create. That's not happening. That will not be accepted. Those have to be done in Photoshop and Illustrator. This is just the last project. It's the layout project. This is kind of your reward since you um, done everything else. All right. So now we have this brochure. So if I wanted to create something, the cool thing is everything can be done in this program with a plus. You know how to click a plus sign. You know how to work this program. So let's say I want to change this. Um, um, uh, Anything about this. Notice when I click on it, I'm not getting an individual element. It's kind of weird, right? That's because everything is grouped. So if I want to click on individual elements, I'll go over here to ungroup. If you're not seeing that, that's awesome. That means that one isn't grouped. So let me click on something that wouldn't be grouped. I wouldn't think. So like I clicked on this background, and this is just that background panel of color. That's not grouped. So over here, I'm saying, hey, do you want to change the color? Do you want to choose an image? Stuff like that. So I'm going to click back on this one, and I'm going to click ungroup. So notice when I ungroup it, now you see the lines showing up, showing the individual pieces and stuff like that. So now I want to change something about this one. Notice it's grabbing that whole square. That means that this is grouped. So these are called nested groups. It's group within a group. So I'm going to ungroup that. And now I have where I can select the individual pieces. There are several videos on my YouTube channel about how to use this app because it's just amazing. Okay, so this particular brochure, if I click on these, are broken into panels. And that means if I click on the background, each panel of the background can be different. For instance, if I wanted to change the color, right? I just clicked here. See how we have it highlighted? I'm going to click on this purple and I'm going to change that color. See, it's just that easy to switch these colors in and out and stuff like that. Sorry, I hurt your eyes, but I just, all right. So really it is really just a select and click program, which is super easy. If you look over here to the right, you're going to see that let me click off, if I wanted to make any changes like to text, photos, shapes, things like that, I can actually go ahead and grab this. And then what comes up is I can add my own text, which is the same as you do in Photoshop and Illustrator, where you get the type tool and then you type stuff out. A little bit different, but the same. So if I click on that right now, notice this dialog box. So you see this double click to edit here. You can't change it from here like you would do in Illustrator or Photoshop. You have to go over here to the right, and then you can type testing, whatever you're doing, and then it will change. And you can look down and you'll see you have all the options that you have. So you have your, let me make this 2 lines real quick. Testing is fun. Okay. So now I have my text, and if I wanted to say make up, let me spell fun right. So I have my text, and if I wanted to have like 2 different styles in this text, let's say I wanted testing a different color, or maybe I want fun a different color, I can click over here to main style, see this plus, and I can add another style. So I'm gonna click on the plus, and now I have highlight. So now notice testing is white, is fun is that tan color, but I can tell it what I actually want to be within. Notice see this little line with the little half circle? This is saying, oh, you want the style from here to here. So I could maybe bring this in a little bit. I'm sorry, let me bring this one down. And maybe I want it here. Come on, buddy. Let's see. There we go. So maybe I want this down here, and then maybe I'm on a trackpad, so I'm noticing working on trackpads a little bit harder. But anyway, so testing is fun. So I have changes. So now whatever change I want to make to the main style, right? I can change this to say, let me just, this color picker down here, I can pick any color that I want. So say I want to change it to something like yellow but bright. They call me Mellow Yellow. Okay, so like I have this change, and then now I can go to highlight, and I can make a change to that. So I can click here, and I can maybe make highlight, the black, or maybe make it like a light purple. I don't want to blind you, so I'm gonna change it or something like that. Okay, so that's how you would manipulate and get multiple styles. You can also, in your highlight, you can change what font that is. So let's say for testing is real, I want to get, or fun, I wanted to make something funky like this. Then I can go back to main style and change that one as well. Let's say I want that one to be testing is fun or something like that. So you have options. It is awesome. You can even play with your alignment, the left align, center is what's default, right align. You can also play with different options of your text. We'll go over that in a second. You can play with your spacing. You space it out a little bit. Remember, everything we do is happening with the main style, which means all the text. And then we go into highlight and we super modify it. So we test out those letters like that and stuff like that. And then, like you said, you can go to highlight and you can make changes to that. We can also modify, well, before we go down there, let's go here. So this is where you can change. This is called it's like it's like your magic area, right? And you'll see why I say magic in a second, because it's one of my favorites. But you can change your text to circle text. You can change your text to arc up, arc lower. You can play with some of these grid texts that are down here. You can, you can just play. It's got a lot of cool features. I'm gonna get to the magic one last because that's my favorite. And you could just go in here and play. I went too far. I definitely encourage playing and getting to know this program. You can also capitalize and fit. This is one of my favorites because it just makes everything capitalized and it puts it centered, and it centers your text. Okay, so that's the area over here for the grid. Another thing that I go over, yep, I did. Okay, so we can go down here now to our effects. And really, all you're doing is clicking, right? You saw all I did was click to click away. So it's so many options. All right, so you can put a shape around your text, and there are plenty of shapes, plenty of options. You see how that color is great. I can change that color if I want to something that works more with my design. That one didn't, that one doesn't. But anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time. Oh, that is blinding. Okay, there we go. So I don't want to spend a lot of time working in that area, but you can see that you have options. You can also change the shape. So if you want it to go across the page, you just have options. The whole page, you just really cool options to play with. This program just makes everything super easy, super fun, pretty awesome to work in. So this is options here. You can mask the text out, which is where you're just cutting a see-through. Here with this mask text, there's so much in here to play with and super easy to find. So I'm not gonna go over everything, but there's you can make it larger, you can change the transparency of it. You just have really cool options. Okay, so that was for shape. If you want to play with shadow, notice I'm clicking on the T. When I click on the T, automatically this dialog box opens with the color, and it has where I can turn it on or off. See how if you look at that blue underneath testing, you'll see like that blue shadow underneath it happen. I can change the color. So let's say I want it a little bit darker. I can do that. I can change the direction of the shadow. You can change you can distance of the shadow and things like that. So okay, so that one's cool. Now let's go to outline. And initially, when you're clicking on this T, that's what I was trying. You're turning it on or off. Okay, so if you already have it on and you don't want to turn it off, just go over here where this arrow is. Click that, and you're gonna get the options versus turning it on and off. I just like to point that out because I know that's what tripped me up back in the day. All right, so then you can click on here, and I know I'm going fast. Please rewind the video, but I'm trying to get this out to you. And not make the video super long. All right, so you can go here and you can change the color or what have you. If you have a color, like if you know what color you want to use, right here in the index, you can change that hexadecimal number. So if you go to Photoshop, you pick a color, it gives you those 6-digit numbers. You can just type the 6-digit numbers in here if you want as well. All right, so I'm gonna click off of there. So we got our outline, we got our text. If we wanted the text to be transparent, we could do that too, which is going to allow us to see through the background beneath it. Also, this is super awesome. People love this. So this is font recommendations. So if you're one of those people who have a hard time figuring out what font to use, you can actually click on some of the suggestions that are suggested. And if you like them, boom, there you have it. And then if you don't see any in this, click explore more, and it'll show you some different options that you have that you can change your font to. Okay, so it's pretty cool. I want to make sure I went over that. So that's with type, pretty much. And then also, though, if you are starting off again, so we did that one, right? That was where we chose our type ourselves. You can also go down here and get a cluster of type. So let's say you are creating something for social media. There's so many other options too. There's phrases, there's sales, events, things like that. So I'm going to choose one for event. So let's say I choose this out of office. I'm going to click on it, and then it's just going to pop it up here. So I can actually make changes to it though. So I can click on this. Once I click on it, you see I got options up here. So I can say, moved. Oops, hang on. I got excited. Let me do it again. All right, out of office. Click here. Me and this keyboard. Okay, so I can say something like moved to space. That's right, people. I moved. So I can say something like that. Now it's too big to fit in my area. I can still modify the box. I think I haven't had this issue before. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe I got too big, so I would have made it a lot smaller. So let me go back to here because I just need to know because I am an inquiring mind. But this isn't the time that I should be trying to figure this out. But anyway, I'm gonna say moved Out. There we go. All right. So now, again, I have options as well. I can go down here to play with the font. All of the same options that I had before, I have now, and I have also font recommendations. So I just want to show you that you can choose some preset and you can modify. So let's say I bring one in that is grouped. I like this right here. This will be a group of text. I can still modify it the same way. Oh, there's the move to space. It's right there. Okay. All right, let's delete you now. All right, so it's hidden. Wait, I can still modify this text, but notice it came in, and notice you're gonna see if I click on it, it says ungroup, right? So that means that this is a group of information. So I would need to ungroup it, click off, and then modify whatever it is I need to make a change to. So I just want to show you that real quick, that you have options, because I don't want you to get stuck on that. Like, oh, it wouldn't move, but yeah, it will. And if you have any questions in this program, please let me know. I have no issues with throwing up a video. Okay, so that was text. All right, so bringing in photos is super easy. So if I click on one of these, let me ungroup it. All right. So if I click on one of these, now they also have graphics and stuff in here for you as well. And I say replace, I can replace this, and it's going to come up with different graphics. If you want to do a photo, you just choose photo. But I'm going to choose a different graphic. So let's say I want a different topic. Let's say I'm going all out with makeup. My daughter's really into makeup right now and doing all sorts of cool stuff. So let's say I'm into makeup, and I'm going to click that, and then it's going to replace this with makeup, and it's going to keep it in the same color. So I'm in charge of changing that, and I can change that through a filter. So I got a filter on it right now. If I take the filter off, you'll see it goes back to its normal color scheme that it has. But these are the filters right here. So you could do some cool stuff with dual tones, grade scales. You can darken it. So I want to choose something like this or something like that, I can do that. I can also you can do a lot of amazing stuff with dual tones. So let's say you wanted to change the color, but let's say you don't see a color that you want, then you can go over here, click on that, and let's just make a new color palette. Okay. So we have this color right here, and that's cool. And then what if you wanted to make it all the same color? Well, that's kind of hard to do, right? Nope, it's not. We can actually just go in, and I can hover over the color I had before. Oh, look at that color. That's kind of cool. Or I can go in here and see the color. See that hexadecimal number? I'm going to copy it. So that index number, I just hit copy, and I get that blue number. And I can go down here, and I can just double click in here and paste Control V that number in. So now I have a totally what I want all in the same color just from dual toning it the same color. So you have so many options. I'm telling you, this program is so robust. It's awesome. But anyway, and it's so easy to use. So I did introduce it to my last class, and they absolutely loved it. So I just want to make sure I introduced it to you too. All right, so here we go. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we can go to enhancements. And then I can add, you can actually like play with the contrast, the saturation, highlight it, sharpen it, all that fun stuff. You can blur it. And then you can control the blur as well. This is telling how much blur you want. So you can do some really cool things with background versus how little blur you want. Don't get crazy with the blurring though, because we've had that happen before. The difference between your class and last class is they didn't get to do it for a project. I just showed it to them at the end. You guys are actually getting to do it to replace, project if you want. What? Yeah. All right. So you're my testers. Okay. So anyway, so that's with graphics. And if you don't have a graphic and you want to start anew, just click over here on the shape, and then like let's say you say makeup. One word, I don't know, but anyway, so makeup. So now we got these different graphics that you can choose. All you do is click and watch the magic happen, and it'll show up on your screen. So that's kind of cool as well. So if makeup's your thing, look at that. And then so that was graphics. Let's go to photos. And so now I can say makeup, continue with that same theme. And now I have some makeup ideas happening. I like her eyeshadow. I like her making up her face, her putting over her eye. I like this one. Let's do this one. Okay. So now I got this photo, and this photo comes in. So let's say I don't want any of this other stuff, right? I just did this because I'm gonna highlight it and delete it, right? So I don't want any of the other stuff. It was only here because it was part of the template. So the purpose of using the template for you guys really is so that you have the size already there for you, and you don't have to. So you don't have to worry about sizing. But if you did, there is a way to change the size. If we have time, we'll go over that. But okay, so let me just click off of this testing is fun because that's not what we want. So let's just say what we want is makeup. Let's talk about these photos for a second. I'm gonna move this off to the side for a second. When you click on the photo, notice your options over here show. So several things you can do. This is really, really cool right here. This remove background. You can take out the background of any photo. It uses AI technology. It's not normally perfect, but it did a great job. Look at that, at taking out her background. Okay, and then if you need to further refine it, let's say it left some artifacts, you could click on, see how the brush shows permanently, and you can erase, and then you can erase whatever it is that you want to erase. So I don't want to erase stuff, but let's just say I did. If I did and I went down here, notice I just took that out. I'm going to undo, which is continuous. See this arrow right here? And Control Z works on your keyboard as well. All right. So now I got that the parts erased. I took out the background. I'm gonna click on this checkpoint, and now I'm happy, right? My design is happy. I am happy. I can do several other things as well with this photo. I could actually make it a part of my background if I wanted to. Let me see. I can click on that, and now it's become a background. But because this is in panels, I'm not seeing its full potential. So I'm going to actually delete out these panels, and all I got to do is hit delete, just so that now it's one document. Delete. The panels were separating the brochure before. But if I wanted to make this a background, I can just by clicking that, and now it's a background element. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click on off of that so that it's not doing that. But it's kind of cool that you have those options. So I just want to make sure you know. Oh, let me grab another photo. I'll grab this one. Okay. I just want to make sure you know you have those options. I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to remove the background. But at least I get to show you two pictures of how it works. Look at this. So cool, right? So I got that background. I'm happy with that. Let me go ahead and grab another photo real quick. And maybe I'll grab kind of like this. What I'm looking for now is a background photo. It's going to work. All right. So this one might work as a background photo. Okay. So I'm going to click on add to background. All right. So now it is a background photo. I'm glitching. Must be my video playing. So now if this happens, sometimes it does. Like I said, I do work in the forums. It's just a browser overload. Sometimes I'll refresh the browser in hopes that it did the last save. So that's all I did was refresh it with the refresh, and there we go. Okay, so now what I can do is I'm going to make this background and another background. So I'm going to go and grab another photo, and I'm going to say colors because I want to show you how you can blend stuff. So I'm going to say colorful. All right, so now I got these colorful backgrounds, bursting colors, and that's kind of what I want. I'm gonna grab this one. That's what I want. There she is. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this larger, and you'll see what I'm doing in a second. And so I want to blend this background with blend this image with the background beneath it. So what I'm gonna do is several things. Let me click off for a second. Okay. So what I'm going to do is several things. I'm going to go over here. I can play with transparency, right? Of course, I can make my own blend like here. And I can blend that with that makeup. I just want an interaction between this colorful background and that makeup. So I could, do that if I wanted to. But that's not the desired look I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for a blend mode. Now, blend modes from Photoshop, but you're only getting 3 here. So we got normal, we got multiply and we have screen. So if I click multiply, this is the effect that we get, which is the effect I actually want. And then if we have screen, let's check this one out. That's a nice effect too. But the one that I actually want is multiply. So I'm gonna click on multiply, and I like that. I like that. So now what I want to do though, I'm noticing, and I can put filters on here. I can put enhancements on here, and things like that as well. I can blur it, of course, right? Blur it down some just to get rid of that harsh edge, just so that it's more of a colorful. I can, play with the enhancements. I could bring the brightness down a little bit if I wanted to boost the brightness up a little bit. If I wanted to play with the saturation, highlights, all that fun stuff I can do. So you still have options of doing that. You can play with how intense that blur is. Maybe we want it to be just a little bit like that, just to decrease the intensity a little bit. So we have those options. Also down here are our layers. So if I click here, and if I wanted to bring this below the eye and the girl so that they're not a part of it, I can do that as well. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to bring her down here and maybe get just a little bit. I don't know what I want to do with that yet. But anyway, so I have options, right? I don't like their heads cut off, so I'll probably choose another one. But the cool thing is these options are here, or I might not. You know what? I like to work with challenges, so I think I just thought of something. Okay, cool. So this might be my little logo, or something like that. And you can also make logos in this program as well. I like making my logos in Illustrator. However, I have made some really, really cool, quick design logos in here. So you can do that. I did it during trainings, which is kind of cool. All right, so let me see. All right. So we have our little image happening here. And the next thing I'm going to do is bring out a, what else I want to show you guys? I'm going to bring out a shape. So down here is where you'll see logos, where you can just play with different logos and stuff like that. Quick ones on the fly. All right. So I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to bring out a rectangle. That's not what I meant, but that'll work. All right. And if I want to resize this, if I grab the edges, I'm resizing the image as a whole proportionally. What I actually want to do in this case is make it more of a rectangle. So I'm going to grab the center. I'm going to grab the center and I'm going to bring this one out. And I'm going to bring this one out. And this is what's going to be the flooring that kind of grounds the head, but it's also going to serve as the header of my document. All right, I'm going to change this color. I'm going to click on this eyedropper and grab a color. And all you do is click the eyedropper and then come out here. So I'm going to grab a color that I might like. That's going to work for now. There we go. All right. And then what we're going to do is grab the type tool and I'm going to just go ahead and let me see. Do I want to use one of these or do I want to do our own type? I'm going to do our own type. All right, so I'm going to click on add type to text. And then we're going to say how to apply makeup. So not genuine, but it's gonna work. All right. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bring this out because I want this to go in this area. And I'm gonna center it. And you do have guides that kind of help you center this vertically and horizontally. And then I'm gonna go down here to look at maybe a different style. I kind of like this font, so I like that one. So we're gonna go with that one. And then so how to apply makeup. All right, so this is kind of like a series. Maybe it's a part of how to apply, let me say, face, because there is body makeup too. So how to apply face makeup. Move this over. See how I'm centering? See those little lines that I'm getting that's telling me, hey, this is in the center. Okay. So how to apply face makeup. And I'm going to put this up here. And then I'm going to add some more text. And I'm going to say over here, a beginner's guide beginner's guide. Yeah, because I can't think of stuff. I just can't right now. All right, so I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to definitely change the size. And over here is where I can change the size, similar to all the programs you've been working in. A beginner's guide, or I'll say for the novice. The novice. See, I'm such a techie. I want to say the novice user, but that's not what you would say in makeup. So um, for the curious, I don't know. All right, so beginner's guide for the curious. You listen. Don't judge me. That's what's happening. All right, so I'm gonna go down because I want to go down to like maybe 50, and I can also type in. So I'm gonna say 40. There we go. All right, and I'm also gonna change this font because that font is a this. Remember, this is a decorative font. I wouldn't want a decorative font for that information. So I'm going to let's see, go down to, let's try this one. A beginner's guide for the curious. Okay. So I'm not designing right now. I have to tell myself that because that's not what this is for. This is just to give you a quick overview of what you can do. So let me go ahead and there we go. A beginner's guide for the curious. This is also a designer font, but that's okay. I'm just going to let it go. This is more so. There we go. All right. So now I have this set up, right? That's looking pretty good. So that's really how you would mess or how you would manipulate type. And there are other things that you can play with. Everything is pretty easy. So this would be like, say, maybe the front of the brochure. I actually made a poster versus a brochure, but you would make a brochure. You would do the brochure the way you know how to do a brochure, which is in your panels. But I'm just showing you how to work this program. All right. So then let's say you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I really like it. You can even go through like different colors and you can play with like a different color scheme. You can choose a different scheme if you want. Let's say you just weren't feeling this one, you would choose this, and then you could just cycle through to see what color scheme works for you. You could, I'm going to undo that though, because I actually like mine. But I just want to show you that that's here. You could add animation to here where you would add, like, you could do some things to your type. You could, add cooler animation. And then you could do resizing where you would resize your design as well. If you needed to resize this for any purpose later, like for Instagram or for, your story or something like that, you can click the original image. You can click custom, and then you can put custom design size that you want. So you have options with that as well. You can also choose, if you're like, I just don't like my design, you can choose a design wizard down here. Let me undo that one though, because I don't want the animation. Okay, you can do a design wizard here, and you can have it kind of help you change your design. So I could click here and it's going to change it up for me into something. So if you're like, I just don't. But anyway, so you have options. That pretty much should be enough to get you guys through this brochure project. So the last thing I need to show you is how to, let me turn this animation off. Last thing I need to show you is how to, hang on, none. Okay. Is how to export this. Okay. So you go up here to where it says download, and you could choose PNG, JPEG, PDF. For me, I want the PDF and I want a PNG or JPEG. Either one is going to work. So what you would do is, if I were to download this, I would click on Start Download. So if I'm doing a PNG, Start Download. And then it's going to download here. So it's going to go into my downloads folder, and I would grab that. But before you do that, this is very important. Where it says My Project up here, click on that and actually rename this. So I'm going to say Brochure Example. And then, so now I have brochure, spell it right. Okay, so brochure example. So I have this brochure example here. And now when I download it, you're going to see a difference in the naming. Right now it says my project. Boom, look at that brochure example. All right, so that is how you work this program in a nutshell. There are other videos on my YouTube as well. So just do this, have fun. If you want to go this route. If not, the videos for InDesign are up on my page. All right, so until next time, ta-ta for now.